I'm here at the Commercial UAV 2024. I'm Eszter Kovács, co-founder of DroneTalks, and this is the second day, and I should admit that I think I'm in this industry around 10 years, so there is nothing new under the sun. However, I found a company who I know very little about, and their solution. I'm an engineer myself, so I understood the basis, but I should say that I would love to listen to Andy Kelly, who is the head of product. If I say that well, so please, Andy, introduce the company, introduce who you are, because I think our viewers don't know you yet. So maybe let's start with that.
Yeah, so I'm Andy Kelly. I'm the head of product line at Intelligent Energy, and Intelligent Energy is a hydrogen fuel cell company. So we make hydrogen fuel cell products for a number of different applications. And I look after the product line that's targeting drones. So what we do, we make products that make drones fly for a long time. So if you were to compare a battery drone with a hydrogen fuel cell drone, you would normally get kind of 3 to 4 times longer flight time with the hydrogen-powered drone. Because the energy density of hydrogen is much higher than the energy density of a battery.
Okay, I like to be a little bit naughty in this interview. So why not everyone is now having a hydrogen fueled drone here? When I walk around, I see not too many.
It's a great question. So my main answer to that is familiarity. So I speak to a lot of people that think hydrogen is going to be hard to get hold of.
Expensive. They think
Expensive.
That's what they say when I say
hard to store, dangerous to handle. All those things are not true. You just have to go up a really small learning curve. And it's the same learning curve that you would have to go up if you were getting used to using a battery. So yeah, batteries have to be stored in a special way. They have to be charged carefully and monitored. You can't ship them on aircraft. If something were to go wrong with a battery, the kind of fire that you would get is not pretty. All these things apply with hydrogen as well. You just have to store it in a particular way. You can get hold of hydrogen really easily. So
where can I buy a little bit of hydrogen?
So the same place you would get welding gas. If you call up Air Products or Pratt,
you want to buy a little bit of hydrogen?
Yeah, so you can just rent a hydrogen cylinder. They'll have it with you next day, and you can use that industrial gas cylinder to fill your.
But you need to prove it where you want to use it or nothing. They can just they can give me some hydrogen here and
so they might ask to see a risk assessment, and they won't leave it with you if you think you're not gonna keep it safely. But if you know how to handle a battery, it's as easy to handle hydrogen. The risks are just different. They're no more difficult, they're just different. And I think that kind of awareness is why everyone isn't using fuel cells.
So I think I love this topic. So I have so many questions, So for first, this is a bigger company, Intelligent Energy. So you're not only producing this solution for drones, I guess, you also for aviation stakeholders.
Yeah.
So where do you see the business case in drones? Why the company entered into the drones? Because as from Switzerland, this is a big topic, the sustainable aviation. So if I would be a hydrogen-focused company, I would shoot on aviation more, all my resources that are drones.
Yeah.
But why you also have allocated resources to drones?
Well, you see, we do prioritize the aviation. So that's one of the product lines in the company. But drones also have a real commercial use for our products. And it's not every application. Not everybody needs to fly further or they don't need the extra range, but there are applications where it really makes sense. And so utilities inspection, pipeline inspection, offshore wind inspection, those applications where traveling 150 miles instead of 40 miles really kind of ups your efficiency and your OPEX. It really makes sense. So we do see that these growth areas and maybe eventually it becomes part of the parcel delivery picture. Who knows when that will become a thing? But we also aim a little bit at defense, so ISR, intelligence and surveillance, because we can keep drones in the air for much longer. It's kind of an obvious advantage. So we think there's real commercial value in these specific areas.
That's fantastic. So the company is based in UK, right? So it's a British company.
Yeah.
With offices.
So we have representation in China, South Korea, in the US, and in Europe. But we do all our design, all our manufacture. The HQ is all in Loughborough, UK. Yeah.
Fantastic. And how do you see the UK market with drones? If I can have a sneak peek, our upcoming executive level only conference is taking place in London.
Yep.
So this is the first time we moved from Switzerland to England.
Okay.
So, all the CTO, CEO of the ecosystem meets in London this year. So I'm very excited to move to Britain. So how do you see the British ecosystem and British?
Yeah, so we have, although most of our customers are in the US, I would say size to size proportionally, we have quite a lot of customers in the UK. Partly because we're a UK company, I'm sure, but also there is a lot of activity. Again, utilities inspection, offshore wind inspection, there's a lot of focus there. So we also have ties into the MOD and the UK government, so the defence side of things, there's quite a lot of activity there. A lot of the main exhibitions, DroneX.
Our conference, Area City.
Of course, yeah. They're in the UK, so we do see a lot of activity there, more so than the rest of Europe, probably.
And it's going to be a tricky question. I may ask, so did you do any research on comparing drones fueled by hydrogen and battery, like traditional battery-wise? Is there any comparison on lifetime of the product,
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything on?
There is, yeah. So, quick answer to the question, yes, we've spent ages looking at...
And we didn't discuss it before, I didn't, hey, am I going to ask this, and these are,
No,
on the top of the game.
But it's kind of the core of what I've got to understand. I've got to know why my product makes sense. So it's a really good question. Yeah, if we're to compare against batteries, if you set aside kind of the obvious functional advantages like the longer lifetime, the longer flight time, lifetime is kind of the next thing. Our products, we design to 1,500 hours life operation. We warranty 1,000, we design to 1,500, we typically see a couple of thousand hours. Now, to get a set of batteries flying for a couple of thousand hours, well, you just don't get it. In fact, you got to buy a lot of sets of batteries.
Wait, a lot.
Exactly. There's a lot of sets of batteries to fly that much. That's one of the main reasons our products make kind of commercial sense. It's, if you think about it, like cost per flight hour, and that has been your main comparison. Yeah, you spend more money on our products. Upfront cost, it's higher. It's about 10 times higher. But you'd have to buy more than 10 sets of batteries to run for 1,500 hours, and that's without these additional advantages of the flight time, the recycling. Similarly with hybrid IC engines.
Yeah.
Similar flight time, but the maintenance with the fuel cell, there no moving parts. So low maintenance, quiet, clean, quick to refuel.
Quiet.
Yeah. So the main competitors are other technologies, and I think we beat them. Not in every application, but I have a.
Oh, you don't need to beat them in every application.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we're really relevant, and like I just...
Fantastic, and first time for you here in Vegas, or?
First time exhibiting. So we were here last year. Looked like the right show for us. These are the customers that we want to be targeting.
Amazing. And how do you like the show this year?
Great. Yeah, it's great. You know, I love the most is telling people about what we do. It's interesting you started off the interview kind of, we've seen the name, but we have no idea what it is. Yeah, but most fun part of my job is telling people what we do. So we do that all day long here. It's great fun.
So Andy, thank you so much. We will put, your LinkedIn profile as well and Intelligent Energy profile as well in the description. Follow us for more content on interesting topics such as this. And thank you for being here with us.